Let's start moving our character the way we want it to. I want to set the initial position of this character somewhere a little bit away from the camera, so it takes him about 2 jumps to get to it. Maybe I'll rotate the camera a little bit, make it a little more horizontal, look a little bit more horizontally, and away from here. Let's see. So now that I have this independent root, I can combine this jumping with horizontal motion more easily. I could have done it before, but having independent motions on independent controllers is mostly a good idea. So let's have a look with just one jump. We'll move the character. I have the keyframe set in 0, so I'll just move the character a little bit forward, and I don't need it to be smoothed out like that, so the motion, as you can see, it's a curve. I want it linear. Switch to vector. We're gonna have to edit the animation, the animation of the ball a little bit, so we get at the angle at which it's jumping. Now it's jumping up and down and moving horizontally. We would also need to add a little light tilt to that motion. But for now, let's just plan the motion better. So this ball is jumping, and let's do 3 jumps here, and actually decrease the height of the jump with every jump, the way a ball would be jumping before we add this horizontal movement. So I'll take these, press A to select all the keys, and press Ctrl C and move. I don't know, I should select it from with my time. I should select those from when I'm on frame 1, I think. Control C. Here's another keyframe which concludes the loop, and do Control V. See what we get. Nope. Okay, mouse should have been in the curve editor. Okay, we're missing something. Okay, I had the channels that have some animation hidden, so I didn't. That resulted in me not selecting all of the keyframes. Let's repeat. As that looks like it. Let's see it again. Yeah, that looks seamless. Let's add a 3rd jump. Now we can start editing the amplitude of these jumps, meaning making the jumps lower. So this one is fine. With this one we could just increase height of the first one. And this one should be lower. And you know what, let's do one more jump and we'll finish that jump here. So I'll delete this final keyframe. So we have 1, 2, 3. Yes. Let's make this one even smaller. This is starting to affect the curve in a bad way, but that's normal. We're gonna have to decrease the time it takes to jump as well, naturally. So I'm gonna select these keys. I press S on my keyboard and X to limit the scaling to horizontal axis. And also change the pivot point to 2D cursor. So now, when I'm scaling, I'm actually affecting the time in which this animation took place. I'm gonna scale these down a little bit. We're gonna get some motion artifacts. We'll fix them later. I think that should be fine. Let's move that here and repeat, making the last jump take even less time. Let's have a look on how bad it is. Okay, just some stuff to fix. First of all, this curve, you can, even without seeing the animation, you can already tell that something is wrong here, right? We have the first jumps, which are the jumps that we've worked on, have this smooth curve, whereas this one doesn't look smooth at all. So I'll edit the curve to make it a little bit smoother. I need to change the pivot point to individual centers. Let's have a look again. We're still gonna have some artifacts caused by animation of these stretching points, but it should be a little bit better now. Yes. And the last jump we're gonna have to edit as well, of course. It needs to, it stops right here, whereas it still needs to get back to the normal shape to balance out the inertia that was collected by that jump. Let's have a look at the artifacts caused here. And they look a little bit weird. Have double frames here. Let's delete that. Let's look from the side. this frame a little bit to the right because I need one frame, space for one frame here. Oops. I'm gonna add a little squash after the character has landed. Just stretching out in time this process where it's trying to where the shape is balancing out. So you see this little wobble after it stops. Always a good idea to add something like that. Let's have a look at the full animation again. Okay, the last jump seems a bit too... Yes, this stretch. This is a bit too much. So I'm gonna need to give myself a little bit more space and move these frames by 2 maybe, even. That way. Oh. No. I just don't want the stretch on this last jump to be as strong, so I wanted to have an extra frame before it lands. Let's have a look, and I'm gonna switch to only rendered so I can see the motion better. There's some there was something wrong. Yes, this shouldn't have been here like that. It's I'm starting to get an idea of how long this animation will be, so I'll give it around 150 frames. This is a little bit too much. Okay. I'm pretty much satisfied with the vertical motion with all these jumps. So now let's add the horizontal motion to that, and I'm just gonna find a frame where the bolt touches the ground for the last time, where it lands for the last time. This is the frame, and I'm gonna just move the root in that frame to the location where I want the character to be in the final position. I think somewhat here, but the camera, I'm gonna need to fine-tune the camera somewhat like this, I think. Yeah, I will add the pose, make it more interesting. And keep in mind, when I changed the camera, I turned off the auto key because that way we would get an animation on the camera. I could add that as well, but not what I want right now. Can first we need to decide on that. So this the motion of the root, the horizontal motion, needs to be linear. I don't need it to slow down. So I'm gonna select those, press V on my keyboard, and choose vector. Okay. Choose the starting position a little bit better. Oops, I didn't have auto key on. So the timeline didn't recognize my changes, did not accept my changes. Now here, while the character is on the ground, from this frame, here I'm gonna set a key. I'm gonna press Control C, and our character spends 3 frames, 5 frames on touching the ground, and this is where this point should not move at all. So I'm gonna press Control V to copy the frame from the keyframe from that location here. Let's do that for the next contact, and I'm probably gonna need to switch to the side view so I can see the moment of contact better. Here it is. Let's copy that and set a keyframe here, and see where is the. Here it is. Is there another one? Here. Set a key, copy the key. Oh, now we have a light mistake here. This needs to be a little bit higher. Yes.